I got another rumor for you, Shelley. Is there a story about Ella Fitzgerald getting arrested and getting out of it?
Oh, yeah. She was represented by Norman Granz. And Norman was a wonderful guy who believed in talent, but he had this thing that he never would sit still for anybody, treating his black talent any different than white talent. This was, in the 50s and 60s. And Ella was booked into a place in Texas. And Norman went in ahead of time and lectured everybody in town, the police department, the theater people, the hotel people, that you have to treat everybody the same way. And with all lectures, he pissed off on the local sheriffs. So the sheriff broke into Ella's dressing room, and Dizzy Gillespie and Eleanor Duquette were shooting craps and smoking pot. Oh. And Ella was just sitting at her dressing table putting on her makeup. So they arrested the three of them. So when they get down to the jail, they're all behind bars in a little local jail. And this one deputy sheriff looks into her and he says, "Ain't you that singer, Ella Fitzgerald?" She says, "Yes, I am." He says, "My wife loves you. Can I get an autograph?" She says, "Listen, honey, we'll give you autograph pictures and as many as you want if you just let us the hell out of here." And they did.
Give us the Gary Busey story. Go.
All right. Gary Busey, who I did previously mention was just as crazy then as he is now.
Yes.
Like a fox.
One time, somehow he commandeered a walkie-talkie.
I love it already.
And because he came to set, I mean, this is the guy who, like, as a joke, carried me by my underwear 20 feet across the lunchroom in front of the entire cast and crew just because he's Gary Busey. So, talk about the ultimate wedgie. So he got to set one time, and sometimes you get called to set, and then you wait. And it was not very warm. I mean, we were shooting, baseball, but it was September. It was like baseball season had just ended. We got camouflage up on the ivy because it's all dead and brown. So we've got camo netting to make it look green. And, we're chewing on ice cubes so that you can't see our breath. You know what I mean? It was cold. So he didn't want to wait. So he goes back to his trailer and he commandeers a walkie so that he can hear when they're actually ready. Cut to a few days later, the story goes on set. Now, I'm 12. I don't even know what hookers and blow are, but apparently that's what Gary was doing. And he was waiting for the thing to be ready, and I just remember the director, screaming at the top of his lungs, pacing the outfield, telling Gary, we were ready and waiting for him. But I think he was probably, just a little busy.
Oh, that's...
Oh, great.
I mean, what else do you do in your trailer on a kid's movie?
Look, we just killed it tonight because that's Gary Busey, hookers and blow in the same story. Boom!
Yeah,
we killed it. I just get this feeling sometimes Chuck feels like he's forced to hang out with us and it's depressing him.
But that's a role.
No, I go out with you guys and I'm like, this will be fun, and then somewhere midway through the night I'm like,
that's a role that he
should have made
plays,
other
though.
plans.
That's a role that he's willingly playing, is the role of that guy who gets dragged along and can't party as hard as the other one and is terribly inconvenienced.
Let me tell you about this bar, the State, and if we weren't kicked out Saturday, we're going to be kicked out tonight.
I know, State.
They would not let Lenny and I sing.
Okay.
They would not let me dance.
Okay, because when you were singing, you were screaming, and when you were dancing, you were hitting the woman next to you, who was eating.
Maybe
she's just sitting there eating, and you're like, and then the guy comes up to you and he puts his hand on your hand. It was really funny, and he's like, "Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to calm down. There's people eating here, and you almost hit her, and you hit her once, and then you look at her, and then you look at me, and you mouth, 'Did I hit her?' And I nod my head, and I'm like, 'Yeah, you smacked her on the arm.' You look at her, and you go, 'Fucking bitch!' And then I ran over to you because you looked at them and you were about to say something, and I grabbed you by the head, and I'm like, 'Matt, calm the fuck down.' Seriously, inside voice, and you're like, 'Who does she think she is? Matthew Aaron's show!' And then you started going out about the podcast. And I'm just sitting there shaking my head you know what? I am way too sober to be right here right now. I need to leave.
Well, she needed to know who she was dealing with.
So if you did fake your own death, how would you die?
I assume if you're going to fake your own death, best way to do it is explosion. Massive explosion.
Like jerking the wheel off to a ravine?
Oh, I thought you were going to say jerking off.
No.
All right.
It's not all about that.
No, what I would probably do, because, now we're talking about when I have my untold wealth, I would probably purchase a private oil derrick and build a sort of fantasia on that oil derrick, and then blow the thing up. And then everybody say, "Oh, what a disappointment! He spent all that money building Xanadu on his oil derrick, and then it all blew up. That's such a tragedy." Well, guess what? I'm living somewhere in the south of France now with extensive plastic surgery and a much younger wife, and feeling very good about myself.
I just hope
that is a seamless plan.
Yeah. No body parts, no evidence.
I just hope, like Xanadu, he's roller skating on this oil rig. I hope there's roller skates.
Not that
involved.
Xanadu.
Well, no. It would be all roller skating all the time. No, you got it exactly right. It would be that would be rule number one, and I assume roller skating would play a key role in why the oil derrick exploded to begin with.
Yes.
There would be some sort of roller skating mishap that ignited the oil derrick and incinerated everybody on board. And there's going to be a lot of casualties.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm on board roller skating. You're getting off.
Oh yeah, you're dead. You're long gone.
Yeah,
I'm in the secret submarine dashing off to the south of France.
And me and Craig roller skating the love machine upstairs.
Yeah, you would need the roller skates to get around on the derrick because it's large. Right.
It's massive.
Yes.
It's massive. I'm not purchasing one of these rinky-dink oil derricks.
No.
Oh,
when we yes and on this show, we do not kid around.
Well, I hope Craig Bierko's listening because he now knows he's dying on that oil derrick. There's no other option now.
I think the occasion for the explosion is probably Bierko's birthday.
We're
having a roller skating Craig Bierko birthday party.
Right
Something goes horribly wrong. The birthday cake is lit. It gets mixed up. Somehow there's roller skating. Spark ignites the birthday cake, and then oil explodes, and it's just a massive explosion, and it's a tragedy for Bierko fans.
And the cake is just decorated with oily rags and match heads.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever know what exactly happened.
Well, I know we can fit all my fans on the ship, so we can go. The whole Matthew Aaron experience can go down that day. Now,
we'll get both of those guys. We'll bring those guys onto the derrick.
Now, I was wondering, both. All two of them.
Oh yeah.
Can I get a timeout?
Yeah, timeout.
Can you show me this?
It's bad. You're on Craigslist. That's how bad it is.
Why am I on Craigslist?
Oh, take a look, Chief.
Oh, come on! Get me off the Craigslist.
I think it was in a gay ad too. Yeah.
No, it's male for female. The subject says, "I'm a star, looking for someone to hitch their ropes to my shooting star."
If that's not out of
if that goes up on the, what? Put it up though. I may get a date or two. Go ahead.
Oh wow!
Yeah, leave it up. You're bound to get somebody.
He's asking you a question, Lane. Stop playing Angry Birds.
I'm sorry, I'm playing Angry Birds.
You asked me a question and you went and played a game?
He's got his iPad in front of him. He's tilting it from side to side, shooting birds.
You're doing a professional radio show here, you jackass. Put the thing away. I got Jimmy Pardo on the line. This isn't Gary Sinise. You got to pull teeth on. I'm going to deliver here.
You just made all three of his hairs stand up.
I don't know who this guy is, but he sounds terrific, and I wish him luck as I do all children that play with games.
Hello, Mom. Good to hear you again.
I had one thing I wanted to say, and you have to tell Cesar, whatever. He may not have boners in my basement.
You may not what in basement?
Boners.
Ma, did you say that word on... Ma, hang up.
You said it.
Boners in the basement.
He said he was having one in my basement, and I don't like that.
Making him uncomfortable is an Aaron family tradition. It's nice when you can do things with your mom, mother and son together.
Yeah, and Sunday is Mother's Day. God help me.
You know what's funny? God rest his soul. Tony Randall who I was doing a play with Al Pacino and Tony Randall in New York, and Tony Randall, he used to come into our dressing room, say a joke and walk out every day. Walk in, not even say hello, just say a joke, walk out. And we used to laugh every day. And one day he walks in, and Pacino and I are there, and we're sitting there getting made up, and all of a sudden Randall walks in and goes, "It's 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. It's a married couple. They're sleeping." The phone rings. The husband picks it up and says, "What? How the hell should I know? We're 50 miles from there," and hangs up. And then the wife goes, "What was that?" He goes, "I don't know. Some guy wants to know if the coast is clear." That joke just cracks me up.
I love it.
It's not a dirty joke, but it just cracks me up.
I actually picture Tony Randall telling that joke.
Yes. How the hell should I know? We're 50 miles from there. Some guy wants to know if the coast is clear. I mean, that is a funny joke.
And then, Gary, I got to tell you something, man. I've seen you guys live. I have to. I have to talk to him about it, Steve.
All right.
I've seen you guys live, and now I've seen it in the documentary. Gary, you bust out some dance moves out there.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, you.
You do these little subtle dance moves out of nowhere, and I'm like, what is he doing?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I lose myself in the music.
That's the bass player in you, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have a good time. I played music when I was a kid, and then I got into acting in high school, and played music until into my early 20s, and then I was acting at Steppenwolf Theater in Chicago, and really didn't play for a long time, and as a kid, you always think, when I was playing music, I always, you envision these giant crowds out there and playing in front of thousands and everything. Now, and now I'm doing that, and it's great to be able to get up in front of lots of people, have a good time, raise some money for good causes, do some good things out there, and enjoy yourself doing it.
Nirvana Unplugged, you and Bruce are yapping. Continue your gossip.
Bruce mentions that he's high as a kite at this little shindig.
Oh, I don't know if you're supposed to share that on the air.
I don't know if you're supposed to say that.
You know what? It was 20 years ago.
Are you saying? Wait just a second. Time out.
Oh.
I don't even know what to say right now.
Oh, God. You think Betsy Brand heard that?
Hollywood's listening, Steve. Oh, Bruce Brett, you're off his friend list? This is why he debunked you.
Yeah.
This is why he debunked you.
You know what? I'm gonna do Bruce a favor and not learn anything about his personal life so that I don't slip like you keep doing, Steve.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, that bust. That's like if you talked about the time Lenny got high at McDonald's on 16th. That never happened. Never happened. It was on 28th. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it was a Burger King.
I don't believe Bruce Fretz would get high anyways.
Fair enough.
Have you met this man? He's a classy individual.
Very true.
He's above all that.
Maybe it was a Freudian slip.
If he does get high, it's with a vaporizer.
Yeah, like I do.
That's how classy he is.
Yeah, because that's a sign of class.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I wanted Stevie Roots on the show. Not happening right now.
Well, when I talk to him, I'll let him know. But, he doesn't do a lot. It's not so much, just for what it's worth, he's not a guy who does a lot of publicity if he doesn't have to. He's one of those guys who prefer never doing a publicity of any type, talking to anybody.
No, it is publicity, though, because no one's listening. He's just hanging out with me and talking.
I get that. That's why I enjoy doing the show just for that reason. But I think, but I also think that he really genuinely, and I've known him for a while, genuinely is as uninterested and in fact just doesn't do it very well and just would prefer. It's like some people, like I love hearing my own voice, obviously, and it's fun to shoot the shit with somebody and have a good time. And Root's not like that. He's really like very, very, plays his cards close to the vest and very just kind of like, if you were having, start asking me some questions. Go ahead.
About Stephen Root. I'm pretending.
No, just ask me. Act as if I'm Stephen Root, and you're just asking me some questions.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So how was it working with Mike Judge?
They're good.
Good.
What? That was the best Stephen Root impersonation I've ever heard.
Well, maybe it's good, Stephen Root.
Ask me a couple more. Come on.
So, Bill Dauterive, where does this character come from, Bill Dauterive? How did you form a William Fontaine Dauterive? Yeah, De La Dauterive.
L.A.
What? Mr. Root, you got anything else to expunge on the topic?
So playing Milton in Office Space, that must have been a career highlight, huh, Steve?
Pretty good. that's who, and so I wanted to defend him because that's really who he is. He's not interested. I mean, he would probably be a little bit more obvious if he agreed to do the interview. He'd be a little bit more forthcoming. But it's like fingernails on a chalkboard to him. He's just like he's an old time theater character actor who's wonderful actor. Think of him in news radio, and he just doesn't want to. If you could just not do that part of it at all, that'd be great.
I was doing Southern Pride in Boston. I swear to God. Now, this is another great story. I'm on the parquet floor, the parquet floor for the Boston Garden.
Oh, yeah.
Before they tore the whole place down. I'm standing in the middle, and that's Red Auerbach comes out to me. He goes, "Kid, you're pretty good. You want to smoke?" Gives me a cigar. Now, he's the only one that's allowed to smoke in the building, and we smoke cigars standing on the parquet floor talking about basketball and how I was a huge fan of his, and it was one of the nicest moments. And then all players would come back and pay homage to him, and I would be there, and it was, it's pinch me time. Another great thing that happened, but these are the side stories you don't get. But I was doing a movie with a friend. He said, "Come on, play the part opposite Daryl Hannah in a movie called Grumpy Old Men."
Yes,
Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau. So after I do my a couple of scenes with Jack, he goes, "Kid, you're pretty good. Why don't you come up and join us for dinner tonight?" So it's me again, Kevin Pollak again, and Daryl Hannah and Walter and Jack in their hotel rooms, which they had. I believe they took the wall down in between. I swear to God, they made it a huge suite. It was like their 13th movie together, and they would regale us with stories from 50 years of filmmaking, and it was. Talk about rare air. That was like, oh, my God, this is the best life ever.
Yeah, that's why you had a good life, because I'm extremely jealous of you. I'm sure Lee is.
Oh, yes.
Steve. I mean, I don't know what I'm more jealous of, though. Dinner with Matthau and Lemon and just hanging out, or Red Auerbach. That's a tough one. Because Red Auerbach, how many other people probably smoked with him on that floor, Chris? Not many.
I would say you can count them on one hand.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It was unbelievable.
Well, first, let me have a shave and a haircut.
Oh, shave and a haircut? Smoking a pancake, bong and a blitz?
I'm just saying, I'm going to go eat some macaroni and squeeze.
Oh, you got a rattling of the buns.
I'm just saying.
Well, there go our listeners.
Here's the bug zap. You know what's funny is we're gaining listeners. We're gaining listeners
by the fart.
When I was doing Falcon Crest, I threw a party. My wife and I, and my friend Tom Davies and his wife. It was his wife, it was his girlfriend at the time, I think. But we threw this party, and it was a 50s party. And I was torn because I didn't want to invite the whole crew of Falcon Crest and everybody because we had it at an Elks Lodge at 3rd and Western, way deep into Hollywood. And we rented this place, and so the whole line of it was, my wife made dance cards for people. It was a real 50s party. And I forget the band that was playing. It was, if she was in here, she could probably tell me, this guy. But anyway, I finally, we used to do a read-through every week on Falcon Crest, like at lunch of the next script. And so we'd done the read-through, and I finally turned and I said, all right, look, I'm throwing this party. You're all invited. The ADs have the maps and the invitations. I said, there's one thing you have to do, which is if you're going to come, you have to wear 50s clothes because you will not be, I don't care who you are, how big a star you are, you will not be allowed in unless you're wearing something from the 50s. Like it's a theme party, and you will not be let in. So the party, and I said, and this is so LA, I said the party starts at 7 and it ends at 1. They will kick us out. It's their place. So don't come fashionably late. Just come and have a great party. It'll be fun. There's going to be booze. There's an open bar. It'll be a fantastic time. So we're frantically getting this place ready. A friend of mine remember the big moon from Moonlighting?
Oh, yeah.
He set up the big moon. We got that. He was a photographer. People could come with their dates and sit on the moon and get their picture taken. It was just this really cool party. So it starts at 7. At 7:15, the elevator door opens, and Cesar Romero walks in. There's no one there but me and my wife, Tom, and his sister, and his girlfriend, and his mom, I think. And we all look up, and there's Cesar Romero, and he walks up to me. He goes, "Brett, I hope this will do. I bought the suit in 1954. And I said, "Yeah, Cesar, that's fantastic." He goes, "What do you?" I said, "We're just eating some pizza before everyone shows up." He goes, "Can I have a piece?" So we give him some pizza, and then he sits there, and then everyone starts coming in. I mean, there was like 400 people at this party, 500 people. Eventually, the paparazzi or the photographers showed up outside and started taking pictures of people. You know, Annalisa, everybody from the show came, and it was crazy. Brent Spiner came because Brent's an old friend of mine from Houston.
Yeah.
He walks in and he walks up to me. He goes, "Oh my God, this party!" And I go, "What?" And he goes, "Cesar Romero is at this party." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "This is a '50s party, and Cesar Romero's here. You have no idea how fantastic this is." He danced with every woman there. He took a picture with every woman there. The guy was one of the classiest, coolest men I've ever met in my life.
That's great. You got the Joker at your party, and
the Joker.
Yeah.
And he was in a '50s suit.